Hey, what's up guys? Hope you are all well and thank you for tuning in. So today I am going to share my experience with you for my varicose veins surgery. Now, this is something that I have been suffering with for probably the last 10 years, and every year it's kind of become a bit worse. I was actually planned to have surgery before the pandemic, so I think it was kind of late 2019. I had to then reshuffle the surgery. I couldn't make the dates. I was traveling, and then the pandemic hit basically, and it got pushed back. So we are now in, where are we? Feb of 2023, and I'm gonna have surgery in 2 days' time. And I just thought I'd share the experience with you because I know there's a lot of questions out there as to what you can do to help and what type of surgery you should have and things like that. So I really hope this video is helpful. So we're 2 days pre-surgery, and I've had my pre-op assessment. Now I remember before, 3 years ago, when I had my pre-op assessment, the doctor at the time, the consultant rather, he recommended going for the treatment where they put you to sleep and they just literally strip out the veins. He said, you know, there was an option of having some sort of laser treatment as well, but my dad has had quite a few of these surgeries and he didn't have great success with the laser, and he did with the stripping out. There is one thing though, however, the stripping out of the vein is extremely aggressive and the recovery is very, very long. But do you know what, at the time I thought to myself, do you know what, it's the best thing to do because I've been suffering with this for a while and I'm just gonna bite the bullet. They'll put me to sleep, they'll strip out the vein, and I think within a couple of months you can be exercising again. So now I'm really glad I didn't go for that, and I'll explain why later on. Obviously that got cancelled. Waited kind of 3 years, and here we are today, about to have a different type of treatment. So I saw a different consultant this time round. I'm having my surgery in London, and he basically said, you definitely need the surgery. You know, quick symptoms I was feeling a massive kind of throbbing pain in my leg. Sometimes I'm even lying down, it just feels heavy and throbbing. When I've spent too many hours standing up, I can feel this big heavy weight on my leg as well. So, you know, just explain that to him. And I'm someone who trains all the time, almost every day. So I know that can help, but for me, it didn't go away. I think it's also quite genetic. But anyway, so I explained this to the new surgeon, physician, and he mentioned that there's a new type of surgery now where it's still with laser, but it's a little bit different. And he said, look, the old school method, the one where we strip it all out, he said that is so aggressive. There's blood everywhere. The recovery is horrendous. You know, it's quite invasive for your body. He said this new method, you know, it's a lot better. You can basically, I think, walk. I think you can walk out that same day. I think it's a day surgery. So, and he mentioned something about having some so that's the top part of my leg. It's on my right leg. That's going from my groin to my knee. And then he said at the bottom, because I've got more at the bottom, big wiggly vein, he said that there'll be some sort of like injection that they'll do. Now, we didn't speak for that long. I'm not too sure what's happening, but when I go to the hospital in 2 days' time, I'll try and speak to the doctor there and get a better understanding as to what they're gonna do. But he did mention that the recovery is way quicker. Like I could be probably back in the gym after I think 2 or 3 weeks. And with the other old method of stripping out, I think it would have been a long time, like maybe 2 or 3 months. So I just thought I'd share that with you because I know this is something that's quite common. You know, I'm still quite young, so I think it's hereditary. My dad's had 2 or 3 operations already, and yeah, I hope to be able to inform you guys and share the experience. So here we are. It's Tuesday today. 2 days away. I'm going to stay at a friend's house in London near the hospital, and then I will check back in once I'm in hospital. All right, see you guys in a bit. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back. So it's been 3 weeks since my op, and I'm so glad that it's over. It's done. I'm back in the gym. I'm so happy. I was so miserable for 2 weeks when I couldn't train. I literally had cabin fever. But I've been training for a week now. My leg feels great, and I'm just so happy that I've had it. I can just put that behind me. So I'm going to share my experience with you. Apologies that I wasn't able to actually film a lot in the hospital. To be honest, it was actually really quick. And I just wanted to be in and out as quick as possible, so I didn't really have time. They took my bag when I got there that had all my personal belongings, my phone, so that, you know, I wasn't able to film, but there wasn't much to see anyway. I'll kind of tell you how the day went. So day before, I was told to stop food at 7 p.m. roughly and stop drinking at 6 a.m. the morning of the operation. I got to the hospital at 7, went into a room, lots of people there for day surgery, which means you leave the same day. Got called in, and then they explained how it was going to work, basically how the day would run. They asked me to put my belongings in a bag, took that, and then after that I put my gown on. I met the anaesthetist, and she was really she was super friendly. I explained I didn't like needles. She was saying it's cool. I then met the surgeon, and it wasn't the same guy that I had. It wasn't the same as the consultant. Although when I asked the consultant, "Are you the person doing the operation?" he said yes, but it wasn't him. So I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, met him. He was actually quite surprised that I was having general anaesthetic. This can be done under local, but I said to them, "Look, I don't want to see needles. I don't want to smell my leg burning, or I'm just not good with needles." And I said to him, "Look, I don't care what you do, but just put me to sleep," right? Well, I mean, I do care what you do, but you know what I mean. He was cool, kind of done some drawings on my leg of where so the top part of my leg would be like a wire that would burn the vein, but the bottom part would be injections. So he done all that. And then what happened? So he went and then moved on to a room, checking more paperwork, whatever. And then went into another room where they said, right, we're gonna now, you're gonna see the anaesthetist. And yeah, so basically someone tried to get, put a needle through, I think it's called a butterfly needle, maybe, could be, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, a junior doctor tried to put one in here, he missed the vein, and I was like already starting to feel a bit dizzy. And then the main doctor saw that I wasn't feeling great, so she done it on this hand and she done it straight away. So, and she said, yeah, we're just going to give you some morphine. And she said, this is a new type of general anesthetic, so you might feel some tingling in the arm. And then basically gave me some oxygen and said, right, you're going to drift off now. It was very gentle. Like when I've had general anesthetics in the past, they were all quite, I think it must have been different. It just felt very quick before. Like you would feel it go in up your arm, and then you would just be bonk, you'd just be knocked out. With this, it was more of a kind of falling asleep. It only took about 30 seconds, but the other one took like 10. So I had the oxygen, that was cool. And then, yeah, and then basically it went like that. I don't know what happened. I just woke up with a nurse going like this, wake up, Mr. Eduardo. And I woke up and it felt like I had just blinked, which was crazy. And she was like, yeah, the operation went well. I was a bit drowsy at that time. What I'll do, I'll film this. I'll show you on the mirror how my leg now looks. Right, so let's have a look. I'm not too sure how much you can see, but so it was here, the internal one. And then there's not even no scars or bruising, as you can see. It's normal. And these are the veins that are going to take a little bit of time here to disappear, but there's not that much actually. There's a bit still, but as I said, they did say it's going to take sort of 2 months, so I'll report back in 3 months time, 3 to 6 months, and let you know how there's a bit of bruising still actually here, as you can see. And this is 3 weeks after, but here there's nothing because the vein was from here and into the groin, so they just put like a wire. But because these here are wiggly, then it had to be a series of injections. So you can see a little bit, but I can't feel any pain. And it's not looking too bad, to be honest. I looked down, I had just like a bandage on my leg that had the operation. She said everything went fine. And then I just waited for a couple of hours. My partner came and saw me. and then we basically left. So it was very quick, and yeah, the day kind of went really smoothly. The hospital were amazing, really friendly staff, professional, and they kind of took your time, had a sandwich, which was actually all right. I did ask to speak to the surgeon, and they said, look, he's busy, he's not available, but everything went well. So that was cool. They gave me lots of documentation to read, stuff like that. Anyway, went home, and I'll be honest, when I was going home, got in a taxi, I mean, I was walking, but I had to like limp a little bit. I was limping. The pain wasn't that bad. I think it was actually the morphine, right? I couldn't feel much. So, and then that evening, they just said, so what did they say to me? They said, you've got to keep the sock on, like the stocking, for 7 days. And then after 7 days, you can wear it only at night for another week. And then after that, you're good to go. They said, keep mobile, but don't exercise, but keep moving as much as you can. Don't drink alcohol straight away, stuff like that, right? Basic stuff. But anyway, went home. That night was actually okay. Slept with the stocking, leg up a little bit. And then the next day, it just felt like the pain, the best way to describe it the day after is it felt like a deep bruise, like in my leg here. And then what happened as the days went on is that pain just became a little bit, I think the morphine obviously wore off. And then that pain just became a little bit deeper and just constantly there, almost like someone was pressing on a bruise like this constantly. Now I'd done a bit of a mistake, and she did say to me, if you have pain after, just take, paracetamol or ibuprofen. And I didn't, so the pain was getting worse, and I got a bit worried because it said on the leaflet that you should feel better after 7 days, and I was on day 8 and it was still hurting. I spoke to the hospital and they said, yeah, just take painkillers, and if they work, then it's not nothing to worry about. So I did that, pain went away. I could walk, I was going for walks around here, but I would gradually increase the distance. So that was all good. Made sure I had super healthy food as well. That helps, obviously with recovery. Lots of water, stayed hydrated, having some naps. And I must be honest, for me, the days that I moved the less within the first 2 weeks, excuse me, were the days that it hurt the most. So I'm not sure whether that's to do with circulation or or maybe your body having to find new veins. But I definitely felt that. So it's definitely good if you have the same procedure that I did to just keep active as much as you can. They said to me, no exercise in the first 2 weeks. So I was literally counting down the days to be able to go back to the gym. And when I went back to the gym, I was still limping a little bit, nothing as bad as like the first week, but I could still feel it. But I'll tell you what, the minute I started to do exercise, within 2 days, the pain just went. So I reckon maybe on day 16, I had no more pain. And up until now, no more pain. I've been training, so we're 3 weeks in, I've had 5 sessions roughly in the gym, doing weights, just a bit of bike, and it's been absolutely fine. Sorry about that, it started to get really dark on the screen. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because I'm still learning how to set up my camera and edit, so should be good now. So where was I? So with exercise, so yeah guys, it's been 3 weeks, I'm back training, I can't feel any pain. They did say that the results won't be very visible straight away. I think because they didn't strip the vein out, how it works is with the injections, and this one, the top one I couldn't see, was very internal, but I could see the ones at the bottom, and they said with the injections your body just ends up, destroying, the vein dies and your body ends up destroying the vein. So they did say it could take a couple of months. So what I'll do is I'll do another catch up in maybe 3 or 6 months time, depending how my leg's looking. I'll show you how it looks now, and then we can compare in 6 months time. But but it's better, definitely. And I'm just so glad I had it done. I think the winter's a good time to do this operation as well, because the cold does help with inflammation of the body. So yeah, look, the experience has been good. I'm very glad I didn't go for this stripping out, because I would have not been able to train and move for 2 or 3 months. Would have been horrific. And I think that was the feedback from doing the old, just stripping the veins out. So this was new technology, it's a new method of doing things, and I don't actually need to go back to see the consultant. They said, you know, it should be fine. So I will report back in 6 months' time and let you guys know how I'm getting on. So guys, thank you for watching. Any questions, please add them in the comments below. I've done another video on when I had calcific tendonitis in my shoulder, and that got really good engagement. I think the community there were trying to like help each other with what to do and give some tips and advice. So if you've got any questions, if you want me to clarify anything the day of the procedure, then add them in the comments below. Please like the video, as that will help our friend the algorithm, and also consider subscribing so you don't miss out on similar content. And I'm not always, you know, in hospital. My content is a bit more fun. So thank you guys for watching. Comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.